Alrighty, I will call this meeting to order at 10:03 a.m. Pledge of Allegiance. We now give time before the meeting to recognize those who wish to recite the pledge, reminding those in attendance that they are not required to do so.
Alrighty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America
and to the republic for which it
stands
one nation
one nation
under God,
God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, thank you. Ali says her Wi-Fi is sucking again, just by the way. Alrighty, moving on to roll call. President Victor Llamas, that's me, I'm here. Vice President, Menifee Valley Campus, Eli Baeza. Sorry, just typing in the chat. Yep, she's here. Okay, Vice President, San Jacinto Campus, Edo Perez. Don't believe she's present at the moment. Alrighty. Student Trustee Allison Salas.
Here, sorry, I was
No.
muted.
No, you're fine. Commissioner of College Activities, Brian Moreno Alvarez.
I'm here. Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you. Commissioner of Financial Affairs, Tracy Yee.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner of Institutional Effectiveness, Nicholas Ng. Nick was just here.
I'm here. I'm doing the minutes on my phone. My bad.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you. Commissioner of Public Relations, Ariana Rodriguez.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Casson Chamberlain.
Here.
Thank you. Senator of College Activities, Cindy Lopez. Is she present? Don't see her in the participants. So she's currently not here. Moving on to Senator of Financial Affairs, Christian Cortez. I don't believe he's present either at the moment. Currently not present either. Senator of Institutional Effectiveness, Hector Cardenas.
Present.
Thank you. Senator of Public Relations, Victoria Ann Caballero.
Present.
Thank you. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Chanuba Vasquez.
Here.
Thank you. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Victor Heredia. Don't believe he's present at the moment either. Alrighty. Moving on to Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Kimberly Vick.
So
Go
she
ahead.
texted saying for our meeting that she's gonna try to make it, but she's not feeling well this morning.
Alrighty. That's fine. Thank you for the heads up, Casson.
Mhm.
Alrighty. As far as visitors go, I don't believe we have any. I know Rebecca Teague and Rebecca Orlowski will be joining us shortly. SGA advisors, Maya Cardenas, Jose Hernandez, and Susana Ortega are all here. I guess
I have a question. Suzanne, can you send me or send to the SGA listserv the YouTube link? Because I was trying to find it where we're streaming live.
Yes, I will send. I'll put it in chat.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And Maya, will this also be the time, or would you want to like save it for your report?
I can save it for my report.
Alrighty. Moving on to the approval of minutes. I know Nick sent those out on Monday, I believe. Did everybody get it, or Tuesday, I believe. Did everybody get a chance to look at those?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah, you got it from me.
Thank you, Victoria. Do you have a second?
Ariana.
Thank you. Motion seconded. Any opposition to the approval of minutes? Alrighty, motion passed, minutes approved. Moving on to board reports.
Who
and
motioned it? The first person? My bad.
Victoria.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And seconded by Ariana, just in case. Alrighty, moving on to board reports and information items. All reports will be limited to 1 minute each. Additional time can be allotted with the motion and second from the Senate. Sorry guys, I haven't had breakfast. Advisors report. First on our list is advisors report. So.
Yeah, so hey everybody, Maya here. I just wanted to say happy Friday. We made it. It's been a long week for, I know, a lot of us. I was really grateful to participate in the Earth Day event this week. So good job to everybody who was able to be there and who thought about it and helped plan. It was really great. I also want to give a shout out to Jose and Suzanne and everybody who was able to participate, all the advisors. Because it was Jose had to set it up, and Suzanne I think was helping out as well. So good job, y'all. I think it'll be really fun next week. When we do it again. And I'm looking forward to frankly doing it as often as we can, frankly, because I think once we figured it out, it shouldn't be too hard to put on. So I do want to make an announcement. We have with us Maricela. She's actually going to be transitioning into a new role with us in student life. So she formerly was in outreach and she'll still be supporting outreach. But unfortunately, Lupe is no longer with the district. We definitely wish her well. Some of you may have heard or not, but in her place, we're going to transition Maricela in so that you all are fully supported. Maricela comes with a great background in civic engagement and working with congressional offices, excuse me. So I think she's going to be a really great addition to the advisory team. And Maricela, would you like to say anything?
Yes, just thank you, Maya, and thank you all for the opportunity. I'm really excited to take on this new role. I'm still going to be going back and forth from outreach to student life, but I'm more than happy to dive into it and get into the work here. So I'm looking forward to making connections and establishing relationships if I haven't done so yet.
Yeah, thank you, Maricela. She'll be essentially advising the SJC ICC moving forward. She'll be supported by Jose and Suzanne just for the next few month or so, just as she gets acclimated, but she'll be taking the reins more than likely fully as we get back into fall and we prepare for fall. So yeah, more to come in terms of organization. We're going to meet as a team next week and just kind of figure out some other details, but wanted to make that announcement. Yeah, and I don't know if there's any thoughts or questions. I just wanted to give the group the opportunity to ask them now if they have any thoughts or concerns.
Well, I said it earlier, but welcome to the team, Maricela. It's just a pleasure. I've been working with you again within outreach and FYE, and it's just amazing to have you here as an advisor. So thank you for joining.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Glad we could work together some more, Maricela.
Yes, definitely. A lot of good work ahead of us.
Yes, definitely. All right.
Yeah. Oh, just one more thing, Victor. So on that note, if anybody else has any concerns or questions, they don't want to voice them here in this meeting, you are always welcome to chat with me one-on-one or with your other advisors, but certainly want to give you all that opportunity. Also, we had a great student virtual town hall yesterday. We didn't have, as many students as I thought we were going to have. So I'm kind of wondering if the internet outage that affected some of us had anything to do with that. But overall, it was good to have that opportunity to give feedback. Victor was also a participant and represented y'all, I think, really well. Yeah. So, all right, I'll let you handle that report, Victor. But either way, please give Victor your feedback and let's talk about ways that we can further engage students, especially as we move into the summer. We're going to be having programming for the summer, which is something we don't normally do. But I think if nothing else, we can think of some really just fun, casual, informal ways that we can engage students that maybe aren't as formal as we normally would have during the year. So I'm hopeful and looking forward to doing that. All right, that's it. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, Maya. Any other advisor reports?
Yes, hi everyone. Happy Friday. I just have 3 quick reports to report on. So the SGA election application deadline is over. I want to thank all of you that submitted an application, and you will be receiving an official candidate email just congratulating you later on this afternoon. On that note, though, I will need to meet with those candidates next week. So this information will be sent in an email, but I will read out some information now. So on Tuesday, April 27th, I'm hosting a candidate orientation from 9 to 10 a.m. and then 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And then on Wednesday, April 28th, I'm hosting one more from 9 to 10 a.m. If none of those times work for anyone, I can definitely schedule a fourth, but I don't think it may be necessary. We'll see. It depends on how many of you attend each of these sessions. You only have to attend one, And again, the dates are Tuesday, April 27th from 9 to 10 a.m., 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. on that same Tuesday, and then Wednesday, April 28th from 9 to 10 a.m. And then just as a reminder, part of the requirement is all the candidates attending a Zoom with the candidates event. So that will be streamed live on YouTube, and that is April 29th from 5 to 6 p.m. And I think that's it. So Ariana, did you have a question?
Yeah, April 27th is Tuesday and the 28th is Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the 27th is a Tuesday, the 28th is
No, the 27th is Monday. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I mean the 28th. So sorry. Thank you. Tuesday, April 28th, that's Tuesday, 9 to 10, 3:30 to 4:30. And then Wednesday, April 29th, 9 to 10. And then Zoom with the candidates should be the 29th, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Okay, got it.
So thank you for that correction. Yeah, so you'll receive correct information in an email. So that's all documented. Yeah, so, oh, one more quick report. Any other questions in regards to the Zoom with the candidates or the orientation dates?
I have a question, Jose. How does the Victor, what's it called?
Election committee.
Yeah, how does the election committee, how do we go about the elections now? Should
Yeah.
we be a part of the orientation? Do you want us?
Yes.
Oh, I definitely plan on being at the Zoom Meet the Candidates. And then I know our job is to monitor social media.
Yes.
Is there anything else you're looking for us right now?
No, so that all still stands. So yeah, be there for the orientations, the Zoom with the candidates, and then just help us monitor social media campaign
Okay.
once everyone can do that. Yeah, so no, thank you for bringing that up. And
So
then
it's me, Victor, and
Ellie.
Ellie.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my last report is our SGA ceremony is now May 15th from 11 to 1:30. So we're just pushing it back a week, same time as scheduled before. So yes, please be there for that, as we want to recognize all of your guys' amazing hard work throughout this academic year in SGA. So thank you.
Jose, what time was that at again?
11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Alrighty, thank you.
Mhm.
And does that conclude your report?
Yes.
Thank you, Jose. Any other advisor reports?
No, I don't have anything today.
Alrighty, thank you, Maricela. I know this is your first time around, but
No, nothing to report yet. Thank you, Victor.
alrighty, thank you. Alrighty, then we'll move on to executive officers reports. Any executive council members have anything to report? Ariana, I see your hand raised.
So yes, I just posted that we're gonna have a Netflix watch party. So we did a poll, and the movie that won more votes was the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So that's gonna be happening next Friday, starting at 5 p.m. And you have to email the LCDP in order to receive the link for the Netflix party. And I just posted the instruction in how the Netflix watch party works if you don't understand it. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Jose or Victoria. We can definitely provide more information. Also, I mentioned this on PR, but regarding vendors, we're gonna collaborate with Canes. Those who like Canes, we're gonna collaborate with Canes. They're gonna wait for the renewal of the contract that is around June, I believe. So looking forward to that, and that's my report. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Ariana. Any other executive council members want to report?
I would like to.
Go right
Sorry.
ahead, Brian.
I have a lot of things to say. Sorry. Okay. First thing, I attended the virtual brown bag, and I thought it was a good success. Honestly, I thought it was really great just because they answered many questions that FL students really did have on topics like financial aid, graduation, and campus closures. I just feel like maybe they should promote more because I feel like there wasn't really a lot of students on there. I know that no one, because I'm a part of a group on Facebook that like they sell books, and specifically the MSJC community, and I don't think no one knew about this event. So I'm hoping that they can do it again because I thought it was really great. It was really informative, and I recommend you guys to attend because I think it was really great. All of our answers, all of our questions were answered. So I really like that. That's what I have to say for the brown bag.
Hold on, Brian, just quick question, Brian. So your impression is that students weren't aware that the brown bag was happening, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, you know, that's,
Actually,
oh, go on.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because I know, you know, I remember you all saying that you hadn't seen it. And so I checked in with PIO and they forwarded me, which was the email I forwarded you all, the email that everybody got, and it was in the weekly roundup. So I'm definitely open and would like to help PIO out with hearing from you all in terms of, was it the timing, you know, did folks, I mean, we timed it, I think, in a spot where the majority of students do not have classes, which is why I think they timed it that way. But, you know, definitely please like enlighten, you know, help us understand if what we can do next time to maybe get the word out.
Yeah, definitely. What I think is I don't know why the email was sent to junk mail. Actually, that's where I asked, I think it was Ariana, and I asked her, oh, did you get the link? I was like, because I didn't get a link yet. And it was the day of the brown bag. And she told me to check my junk mail, and I checked there and it was right there. So I don't know why it went there instead, but I never received it like out of like the hundreds of emails that I get, like a priority. Usually I do, but I didn't receive it from specifically this one containing the link for the brown bag. So I found it kind of weird too. And I know they posted it the day before on their Instagram page.
So you got it, but it was in your junk mail folder.
Yeah, it wasn't like a regular email.
Yeah, so that has something to do, I think, with your filtering. Was it your personal email or was it your MSJC email?
The MSJC one.
It was in your junk mail and your MSJC email.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I took it out and then I like saw the link, but it was already like the day of.
Did anybody else experience that? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did anybody else experience it?
Yeah, I did.
It had happened with me before, but usually the emails go in junk mail because you don't open them. Maybe you receive them, but you don't open them. So it lets them know that you don't want to read them. So it just go directly to junk mail because you don't constantly open them. So just make sure to just move the folder to inbox and just check your junk mail, and every MSJC email that you receive, move it to the inbox, and you will receive them there. That happened to me, and it works that way. That's how I fix it. Just move the folder or to the inbox, and you will resolve the problem. So you should be good.
Yeah, no, I
Thank
just
you, Ariana.
because like I always receive the weekly roundup, and I always check on it. So I found it weird that this one specifically went to junk. But I thought it was weird, and I hope that they can promote it and they can have another event because I thought it was really great. But that's what I had to say for the virtual brown bag. I also wanted to report that I'm officially part of the talent. So I'm going to be working with the social media team. So any stories, any updates that you guys have or any concerns with the mobile page or the Instagram page, please let me know. That way I can help them out. They're always looking for new members. So I would recommend you guys to join. So that's what I have to say for the talent. And then for, I have 2 job sites in case anyone is looking for a job. FYE is hiring for mentors. They have their whole application. You just have to contact Ismar, I believe, on the MSJC page. And then from there, they can help you out with the application, as well as the Riverside County office. They're hiring 40 ambassadors. So they're hiring college students, and they're gonna, sorry, I lost my train of thought. They're gonna assign them to local high schools in the area. This job is $15 an hour. It's 20 hours a week. It's Monday through Friday, and it includes mileage. If you guys want more info on this one, it's jmirando at msjc.edu. And then that's all I have to say for my report so far. And then I'll save the rest for the committee.
Alrighty, thank you. Thank you. Casson, I see your hand was raised.
Yep. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we had our equity meeting today, and I wanted to talk about how we were planning the Project Health that we talked about doing like a sort of panel for self-care tips. Not really a panel, but like, let's say 6 people share every 10 minutes a self-care tip, and we wrote down some self-care tips. So if anyone's interested in sharing in that, let me know. You can email me at my SGA email, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. And
Alrighty.
that's the end of my report.
Alrighty, thank you, Casson. Any other executive officers have anything to report? Allison, I see your hand raised. Go ahead.
Okay. First and foremost, I just want to say hi. I'm super glad to be back. I'm really happy to see all you guys. It's been a crazy month. I want to thank you guys for being patient and understanding of my absences, of my most recent absences. I'm sure you guys all know I talk about it all the time, but I'm a nurse. So my work schedule has been drastically affected by the COVID-19. My hours have been switched. I've increased my hours. I've been putting in a ton of overtime, and I've been working nights. So like right now is like the middle of the night for me. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. I don't want you guys to think that I have been neglecting my duties as a student trustee. I've gone over the minutes. I've been looking at what you guys have been approving. I know some of you guys have reached out to me. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I seen the watch party that you guys did for Earth Day. That was super awesome. You guys are killing it. You guys easily transitioned to virtual outreach or virtual student life and student success. That's been awesome to watch you guys do that. I'm super proud of you guys. I wish I would have been able to be more hands-on during all that. But these last few weeks, I do want to come in strong, whatever you guys need me to help with. More than willing to help y'all. So shout out to all of y'all in college activities and PR and all you guys that are still busting your butts to get out there and make these activities still possible. I've been watching the SGA Instagram. It's still popping. So shout out y'all. Y'all are still killing it. But like I said, I haven't been neglecting my duties as a student trustee. I did go to the board meeting. I did my report. I'm sure Victor gave you guys a report on what happened at the board meeting. I've still been meeting with Kristen Grimes to let her know what students have reached out to me about. I'm still talking to students online as much as I can about their concerns, answering questions, sharing the MSJC hub with as many students as I know, because it's such a useful link. Getting people to know that the tutoring is still online, financial aid is still online. We still have these resources available to us. So I've been reaching out to students. I've been meeting with Kristen Grimes. I just had a meeting with James from public information about the graduation. I've been talking to Selena about the graduation. So I sent out an email about graduation to get some feedback, to ask some questions, but I think it's just me, Victor, and Ellie as far as I know right now. So
I
if
believe
you guys,
Christian is as well.
Yes, I'm here.
if you guys are graduating and you guys have any questions, or you guys have any comments, concerns, or complaints about graduation, shoot me an email. I've been talking to people about the virtual graduation. Other than that, I'm happy to be back. I'm glad you guys are all doing okay. I hope everybody is, because I'm a nurse, I have to say this, I hope y'all are taking this seriously. I hope y'all are washing your hands, wearing masks, looking out for each other, taking care of people, checking in on each other, checking in on your family members. Let me know if you guys need anything in any type of way that I can help you guys. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being patient with me.
Thank you, Allison. Glad to have you back. Alrighty. Tracy, I see your hand raised.
Okay, yeah, I just have a short report. So we approved $750 for SJ Prax, and we also approved $1,000 for Project Success. And for this amount, we can always amend it later. And Rebecca Orowski and Rebecca T will always they will join us today, and they will share more information regarding this. So our current budget is $19,818.27. I will type this amount in the chat so like everyone can know it. And that's just my report.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Tracy. Alrighty. Any other executive officer reports? Alrighty. Then I will give my report. Like Maya said, I did attend the virtual brown bag, yesterday with Dr. Schultz, and it was very informative. The executive council essentially just gave out their reports like they would in a regular board of trustee meeting. But this was a little bit more student focused, considering this was for the students. Thank you, Tracy. I see that the budget has been put in the chat. That being said, I do have a little bit of updates. I'm pretty sure I've said this like in the past weeks, but if you guys don't know, the virtual commencement will be a combination of pre-recorded and live presentations. Students will have the opportunity to submit bios and pictures and shout outs. Graduation is still set for May 21st, and I believe that will be at 5 p.m. Yes. Alrighty, and then another thing is that we're going to talk about later on today is the CARES Act. There will be a CARES Act application going out on April 29th. I believe that's next Wednesday. This is basically more funding for students who need it. There are eligibility requirements, and that will be on the CARES Act application itself. But essentially, I want us all to get the word out as soon as possible that there are requirements for this. However, I'm pretty sure everyone will be getting an email about the CARES Act application, because I'm pretty sure all of us here got the email from Bank Mobile saying that we have to like update our distribution. What's it called?
What if we still
For
haven't
distribution.
gotten that email?
From Bank Mobile, did you check your junk and your spam and everything? I don't know if it said about the distribution. I know the one I got said about emergency funding. Is
Yeah.
that the one, Victor?
Yeah, the emergency funding is that's the one that I was talking about primarily. But Bank Mobile, they should have sent you like an email. I mean, like unless you already have like your distribution methods like already in place. Is that the right word that I'm looking for? Disbursement.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
Check
Like
your.
I have my like disbursement like method already
Okay.
selected, but I didn't get any like the one that you're talking about
Yeah. No, that one still hasn't been sent out yet. It's just the disbursement methods that were just sent out, and that was sent out
Oh.
preemptively. That's what. Yeah. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you for clarifying.
The Bank Mobile email was sent out preemptively before the CARES Act application could be sent out, so that's why people were not panicking, but they were asking questions about it, and that's why Roger had to clarify that that email was sent out preemptively, and the CARES Act application will be available on Wednesday, and that's for the emergency relief funding. That being said, there are new grades essentially for this semester. There's an EW, that's an excused withdrawal, and that will not impact your financial aid. Students can choose whether or not to take a class for a pass/no pass grade, and I believe those do transfer. And under these circumstances, I know a lot of the colleges and universities will accept a pass/no pass grade.
I have a
What's the
question.
Yeah, go ahead, Hector.
The excuse withdrawal, like, do you have to like put a note with it, or could you just submit it?
That is a good question.
It's emergency. It's EW, so it's for emergency withdrawal.
Yeah.
And you can do it anytime up until the day of finals.
Okay.
And you would do it the same way that you withdraw from any other class, or you would drop out of any other class. So you would do it on your Eagle Advisor registration management.
Okay, very cool. That saves me.
And you have till May 12th to drop the class. So that's the deadline, guys. If you're planning on dropping any class, May 12th, and like Allison said, it's excused, so you won't be penalized or anything will be affected. It will be staying on your MSJC transcripts, but if you're planning on transferring, they won't be reflected on those. Just a note.
Nice. I have been blessed.
Yes. As far as student services go, they're still trying to do food for thought, but like more so mailing out certificates out to students for food. Oh gosh, what else? And the TikTok challenge is still live. I'm sure we've all heard about it, but it's a very great opportunity for students to get more funding, especially during a time of need like this. Get out there and hashtag MSJC Eagles Rise on your TikToks, and you might get $100. um, than that, the mental health services are still being offered online. Please utilize those. I believe that's also like on our student hub, so fairly fast click. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say from the virtual brown bag. It was a lot of information, but got out what I could. I believe it was also recorded, so I'm not entirely sure where that recording is. But if I do find out, I can definitely bring that up to your attention if you want to watch it through and through. So that concludes my report. I know it was very long. I'm sorry. I believe we don't have any other executive officer reports. Correct me if I'm wrong. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Go
The
ahead.
recording, if it was Dr. Schultz that did it, all of his recordings are on YouTube under MSJC COVID-19, or you just type in MSJC and it's like the first things to come up, all of Dr. Schultz's his little videos that he's been doing since. So I assume it was him that did it, right? It was Brown Bag with Dr.
Yes.
Schultz. So it should be there. It should be on the YouTube. But another quick reminder, if you're not already, which I'm sure you all are, go ahead and follow the MSJC EDU Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you guys use, because that's where I found out about the brown bag, was on Facebook. That's where I find out about everything, honestly, is on Facebook. So it's easier for me to get my information from there than it is on email, because it just gets it faster.
Alrighty. Thank you, Elson.
Brian has a question, I think.
Yeah, sorry. I was checking the YouTube page that you said, and it's not on there. So I'm wondering where it's at.
It could not be uploaded
Yeah.
yet. I don't know, because it was like over an hour long. So
Yeah.
I'll try to look for it, and if I find it, I'll send it out.
Alrighty. Thank you, Ellison.
Cool. Alrighty. Move on to legislative reports. Any senators have anything to report?
Well, I'm still wrangling with the whole revision process, because it just seems super impossible to get it revised.
What do you mean?
I'm just still trying to figure out the referendum rules and stuff, like how to deal with that, especially if nobody reads their emails or votes,
Yeah.
Because how many students are there currently? 22,000 or something? 23,000?
I believe in the enrolled students for this spring, it was like 16, above 16,000.
Okay. Yeah, but it'd probably be 150 votes would be needed for to change the constitution.
Yeah.
But the bylaws can be changed with 2/3 vote from the legislature. But the real problem is the constitution, getting that fixed. Yeah. Anyways, that's the end of my report.
Alrighty, thank you. Any other senators have anything to report?
I'm gonna wait till we get to the virtual events, and then I'll give my report.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you, Victoria. Any other senator reports before we move on?
I don't have anything to report.
Thank you, Christian. Going once, going twice. I do see Cindy joined us. Thank you, Cindy. I know you had some trouble logging in. To have you here. Alrighty, we'll be moving on to committee reports. Any committees have anything to report? Brian, go right ahead.
Yes. So thank you, Victor. So Jose already stole this, but I'm just going to repeat it once more. The election application deadline is closed now. It closed yesterday. The next phase is going to be the candidate training, which is we'll give out new dates with those that are campaigning. And then Zoom with the candidates will also take place next week, April 29, April 30, from 5 to 6. The April 30 day is still pending, but depending on how many candidates we have. But that so far is what's going on in terms of the elections. For the event on Earth Day, well, this is a little early, but I want to give kudos to Victoria and Ariana for the flyers. It was really great. I was on the Netflix watch party and it was great. I actually watched it with my little sister and she liked it a lot. So it was great. I really liked the event and I'm hoping to do more of these events. They're really small, but I think they really do make a difference in terms of what we want to do is target our student body and just keep them informed. So I thought it was really great. So thank you, Victoria, for that one. We are looking for the 2 new events that are coming up. We have the Netflix watch party, which is going to be on May 1st at 5 p.m. So we'll have a voting poll on Instagram for that. And then for our Sexual Assault Awareness Week, we will have an event next week on Wednesday as well. Saydel will be providing the information on that as well. So I'll make sure that for our committee is meeting on Monday instead of Thursday. It's going to be Monday at 2, and then I'll send a link as well with the agenda and the minutes from the last meeting and the agenda for this meeting, this upcoming meeting, and I'll have that ready for you guys. Another thing, let me see. We are working with the SGA virtual ceremony, so if you guys would like any input or if you guys would like to add anything that you think that we might, that you guys would like to have, please let me know because I am in the planning stages with the advisors. I'm trying to keep this as secret as possible just to make it really unique. So if you guys have anything that you guys would like to see, please let me know and I would really appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Brian. Any other committee reports?
Yes, me, Ariana.
Go
So
ahead.
outside PR, I went to the Black Caucus community meeting, and they're looking for anyone who wants to join. For those who don't know, the Black Caucus, they focus on like programs like Umoja, A2 Men, and Queens, and they have a lot of activities, and even they want to join. They want to do some I don't know how to pronounce that word, but they want to join to do an activity with MSJC, talking regarding like the resources for the Black community, and yeah, they're gonna meet next Tuesday, April 28th. Let me check real quick the time at 5:30 p.m. If you would like, I will send me an email or a text and I can send you the information. And if you want to join, they have the Black Caucus, the Latinx, and undocumented as well. So if you want to join any of those groups, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to send that information. And also, I think that's it. I think Victoria can elaborate more on events and promotions. Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you, Ariana. Any other committee reports? All right, cool. Move on to virtual events. I know Brian already kind of touched up on this, but Victoria, you said you wanted to touch up on this as well.
Yeah, so again, I know everyone keeps saying it, but thanks to those who made the Earth Day Netflix watch party possible. It was really fun. I wish we had a little bit more people, but it's okay. We were promoting it kind of last minute. So hopefully we have a lot more for our next Netflix watch party. But again, I think Earth Day was really fun, and it was kind of this big project that I was like, whoa, I get to take this on. So thank you, especially to our advisors for helping out and participating, making it all work. As for Sam, as we're referring to it as, just for time, we're still working on that. And like Brian said, we're going to have an event on May 1st. So I'm gonna read, because I know some of you, most of you weren't attached to this email from Asia, but it was an update. So the email that she sent out, this is from her. So the Office of Judicial Affairs will be hosting events to start. Know Your Advocate / Know Your Options. This event will give students more information on RARCC and CASA. in the Office of Judicial Affairs, as well as some other community resources on May 1st and Teal Table Talk. This will be similar to the panel plan for the Title IX week at San Jacinto campus on May 8th. So we're still waiting to see a little bit more what else we could do. We're planning again to have this on the last week of April. So hopefully we have more information for then, especially with our like links and everything for the like Teal Table Talk and like the Know Your Advocates and Know Your Options and everything. Stadell has a lot more information that unfortunately I don't have with me right now. Maybe if she has it and she can discuss it later on, or if not, we'll have a report typed up and sent out to everybody. So in case you're wondering where I got this information from too, not only from an email, but I included it in my SGA report that I sent out. If you want me to resend it to you personally, just let me know and I'll be more than willing.
Hey, Victoria, this is Asia. I can jump in a little bit on those events.
Thank you, Asia.
No problem. So we're actually going to do the Know Your Advocates event on May 1st. I have a flyer that I'll make sure that everyone gets. The YouTube link is on there as well. We just wanted to push it back to give organizations a time to, be a part of it. So CASA, as our campus advocates from CASA and RARCC are going to be on that and with me. And the whole goal of that event is just to make sure that folks know that even in isolation, they still have resources. If they find themselves in a sexual violence or domestic violence or sexual harassment situation, even though MSJC is virtual now, they still have advocates, they still have resources. So that's what that's all about. And then for the larger panel, we're planning for May 8th. Again, pushing it back to get more people involved. We are hoping for representatives from many different areas in this sphere. So folks like forensic nurses, district attorney's office representation, CASA, RARCC again. I know that the Pre-Law Club has expressed some interest in co-sponsoring that event. So we are working out who exactly will be in attendance now, and you will have more information in the flyer for that shortly. And again, I'll send out the flyer for the May 1 event.
Thank you, Asia. I didn't know you were in the meeting, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All righty, thank you. So I believe this wraps up our virtual events, unless I'm missing something.
Can I just say something because I haven't been here?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I wish I would have been here last week so I could have done something for Earth Day. I ended up doing something on my own social media, like a little virtual garden tour. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys saw that. And it actually ended up being more popular than I had expected it to be. So I don't know if you guys want to share my story onto the SGA
Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. If it's too late for our Earth Day, that's fine. But it ended up being more feedback, I think, because it was a little bit more interactive. Like I did facts and then people responded and stuff and asked questions. So if that may be a type of approach. I don't know what you guys have exactly planned for Sexual Assault Awareness Week, but I think interactive Instagrams are like the thing right now. So if you wanted to do like maybe this is just like throwing ideas out there, maybe interview somebody from CASA and ask them like, what are ways that people can reach out? What are common misconceptions, or what are ways that you think can help people during this time? And we could just do that on the Instagram story, because it's an easy way to get out to people. I don't know, it's probably something you already thought of.
So thank you. And as for your Earth Day stuff, if you want to share that with either Ariana or myself, like we'd love to post it because we created an Instagram highlight. So everything from Earth Day was posted there. So we can definitely share that too. As for Sam, we have something similar like that planned. I believe Sadell has the information on that. And we wanted to either have it posted to like the Instagram TV or just to have like a YouTube link and share that with students so that they're able to view those resources and hopefully get some misconceptions cleared up. But we don't want to like out anybody or anything like that. So it's just going to be strictly like the professionals talking. And that way, like, as much as I'd love people to share their stories, I don't want to like
make them feel like they have to, or, you know, like out them like that. So it's just going to be strictly like professional and make sure that, you know, everything's organized, and that way we don't have any like any problems or trigger any victims like that. But thank you. Like hopefully
We could also do like a virtual candle lighting event, because I know last year at the I forget what it's called. I'm blanking on what it's called. Where they gave us all flashlights. It was a panel.
Oh
essentially.
yeah, take back the night.
Take back.
Yeah.
We could do like where we ask everybody to post a picture of them with a candle or something like that. Just ideas.
I
All
like
right,
that.
sounds good, guys.
Thank you, Allison.
Alrighty. I believe we can move on to SGA feedback now. So kudos, confessions, and concerns. This time is reserved for discussions among SGA legislators related to feelings, thoughts, and group dynamics and group norms. Items on the agenda may not be discussed during this time. Yeah, so a lot of kudos to go out. I know it's been a very rough semester, but it's coming into an end, guys. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of nervous moving forward. Oh, also for those who don't know, I know I said this like last week, but I got accepted to Berkeley.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very exciting times, but that's why I'm nervous primarily because I don't know how moving forward how I'm going to be affected by the pandemic in terms of actually going to school.
Oh wait, so are you gonna go to Berkeley then?
Maybe, yeah. I'm still waiting to hear back from UCLA, see if they offer me a little bit more money, but Berkeley's looking like the route right now.
Just breathe. You
Berkeley's
got
so
this.
lame.
Yeah, I know. I did not want to hear that, actor, but thank you.
Just flip a coin.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, hopefully UCLA today. Yeah.
Hopefully. Let us know. Definitely keep us updated.
Yeah.
But if not, like we said last time, it's probably a good thing. That means they're like, this applicant.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the congratulations. But yeah,
You got
also another
this.
thing, I want to give out kudos to everyone working hard, trying to put on events, trying to make sense of all this, and trying to create a normalcy for our virtual students, not virtual students, for our students in a virtual environment. So shout out to all y'all. I don't want to name drop everyone in like
Oh,
in regards to like in fear of not naming anyone. Yeah, go right ahead, Hector.
dude. Okay, so the NCL's over, right? So we got at least in the top 25% in silver bracket. So we got like 250 out of like 980 or something. Like, yeah. So you know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you. I see that Rebecca T was able to join us, so thank you, Rebecca, for phoning in. And yeah, any other kudos, confessions, and concerns?
Everybody.
Yeah, basically everyone.
I wanted to say a huge kudos to mainly Victoria for all of the Earth Day ideas and the Instagram highlights that she had made. You know, they really looked incredible, and just overall, you know, the Earth Day event was, what's the word? Like, it couldn't have been possible without any of that, you know? So Victoria really worked hard, and I want to say a huge kudos to her because I know how hard she worked to do everything. And a huge kudos out to Lupe. I know she isn't here anymore, but she really helped a lot of students in every way possible with anything that they ever needed. And I would like to end there.
Alrighty. Thank you, Chanupa. Who else wanted to do kudos?
I have kudos for everyone, but Sadell, since she's not here, she sent me her kudos and asked if I could read them. So I'm going to read those really quickly. So this is from Sadell. Sadell said she wanted to give kudos to Chanupa, myself, and Cindy. You have been truly amazing and a wonderful addition to the San Jacinto campus. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to function effectively, efficiently as a leader. Thank you for your continuous hard work.
I want to give a special thank you to Lupe, and I know she's not here, but you've truly been an inspiration to me. I'll forever be grateful for the continuous support that you gave me and the educational advice. You went over and beyond for our students, and MSGC was more than lucky to have you as such an amazing advisor as you are. Jose and Suzanne, kudos to all of the hard work you put in every single day. I want you to know, even when I don't say it, I'm always truly thankful. Tracy, your meetings are amazing, and I'm always so excited to hear your ideas. You're truly making a difference in this time of need for our students. Ariana, kudos for being such a positive vibe here in SGA and for all the work that you put in to promote resources and events for our students. Brian, your meetings are very productive and your ideas are awesome. Thank you so much. Victor, kudos for all the hard work you put. She said Victor Llamas, just to clear. Thank you for all the hard work you put towards graduation, even though the situation at the moment is a little difficult. It truly makes a difference that you are trying your best. Thank you for always fighting for what you love. Thank you to all of SGA for all your hard work and our services to our students. So thank you guys.
Thanks,
Yay.
Victoria. Alrighty, any other kudos, confessions, concerns before we move on?
I have some.
Go right ahead, Casson.
Okay, so I was looking at the minutes from the last few times. I have no nays against them, but is there another system we could do for the minutes? Because if we really think about how we use the minutes, it's for the student body to be able to be informed on what's going on in our school in terms of our student government. And I feel like we haven't been very descriptive in our minutes, if that makes sense.
The minutes are only to like record actions done by the organization, not as a like means of report, like, you know, of clarifying.
Okay. Then we need to, I feel like we should have something to report to our students. Does that make sense?
Is the link to this being included in the minutes?
Can we say it again?
The link to this, because this is recorded and uploaded to YouTube, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this link being included in the minutes?
It's on Board Docs, so you can go back anytime and click on that link. And
I think we should also include the link to this video on the minutes. That way people can easily look at the minutes and then look at the link. Because I agree with Caston that minutes should be really descriptive, or be as descriptive as possible, especially when it's, because like Caston said, it is the way that we reach out to students. It is, I personally think minutes should be descriptive because that's how I got involved in SGA. I started out by reading the minutes and seeing what was going on, and it was what sparked my interest. But yeah, you're right. Under the Brown Act, all you have to include is who voted, and what the motion was.
Yeah, what actions were taken.
Yeah.
And
so I think
I'd like. Oh, so sorry.
I think it'd be important. It'd be beneficial and convenient just to include the link right in like the header of the minutes. I mean, now that we have it recorded,
I think
you can even write it in the minutes. For full video, the link to this meeting is.
I was gonna say it would be nice to include the YouTube link also in the minutes, but and then also additionally like the Google like Drive, like where all the reports are at, so that the students can read them.
Also, if I may, this is Marisela, a suggestion. Oftentimes people don't dedicate much time to attend these meetings or watch them online. What I've seen that's effective is possibly an SGA member can do a quick highlight of the meeting and just share what was discussed and maybe make it 3 minutes into your SGA meeting, and you try to highlight what happened in under 3 or 5 minutes or whatever you see possible. But I think that'd also be a great way to communicate what's happening in a very direct, very to the point type of way that you can share on your Instagram and all your other social media handles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could just use the bullet points from your guys' reports and just throw it at the end or something. Yeah.
Alrighty. These are all really great ideas. I like that suggestion, Marisela.
Yeah, thank you, Marcella. Sorry, my microphone got muted. I don't know how that happened, but
yeah.
Then another concern I had was, could I'm a part of some Facebook groups and MSJC Facebook groups. Could we promote our events through those groups? Like make a post?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that Ariana posted them to the like our main Facebook page, like for Earth Day, but we'll definitely, Ariana and I will definitely go back and make sure that we include Facebook as well. I know it kind of seems like a dead, I don't know, app to some people, but I know like a lot of our users or our students are users of Facebook, so we'll definitely make sure that we're promoting more on Facebook as well. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and could I share one more quick thing?
yeah, of course.
I just wanted to share the student opinion that I do know from Facebook because I'm a part of some Facebook groups. The students aren't very happy with virtual graduation. I'm not saying we should wipe it out completely, but a lot of students don't want to do graduation online. And I'm not part of that graduating class, so I don't feel like I have a say, but I just want to bring that to our attention since we're the student voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is something that I've heard as well. I know Victor's heard it. Maya's heard it. I just talked to James from public information. He's heard it. It's not popular. Unfortunately, there's no way to go around it. And the way that I think it was Maya. The way that Maya explained it to me that things are booked out, and I know Dr. Schultz and the rest of the EC and the trustees, they don't want to say yes, we can postpone it, and then not have a venue, or worst case scenario, this gets extended. But Dr. Schultz did make a video where he said he would like to postpone it, or he would like to also do a postponement. That's not completely off the table. It is a possibility. Because students have reached out. They've reached out to public information. They've reached out to Dr. Colson. So right now the virtual graduation can't be canceled because there's so many people are going above and beyond to make it personal. I know personally, when I first heard about it, I was like totally against it too. Victor was in that meeting with me when I was telling Dr. Colson, I was like, no, I don't think this is a good idea at all. Like it needs to be postponed. Like I would rather just everybody did it next year in the spring. But the more that I see people really going above and beyond to make it personal, the more I'm kind of excited for it. It's something that this school's obviously never done. It's something that even online schools haven't mastered. So it's new, but I have a lot of faith that it's gonna be a fun event. We'll be able to share it with people that are at their homes and whatnot. But it is definitely.
If I may add, Allison, so one of my friends graduated from the University of Redlands, and because their ceremony was like online as well, what she did herself was to make it like more positive, which I want to see if like we can kind of like do the same thing for our students. Is she wore her graduation attire, like her gown and her cap and like her sashes and everything. And what she did is she said in her Instagram caption, she said, I should be walking across like this stage or like the Greek theater stage, but instead I'm walking across my backyard. And she's smiling. She's so happy. She's like, we did it. Like, thank you to everybody. She's like, I'm so proud. Like, I finally graduated. So maybe we can do something like that to like have our students who are graduating, like to kind of encourage them. If they, have their gowns and everything, they can dress up and like walk across somewhere that's like significant to them in their house or something, like their backyards or their front yards or something, and we can like share that like through our social media, and that way like maybe, I know it's never going to be the same. Graduation online is terrible, and it's so sad that we have to do this, but it's for everybody's protection. And I know Roger Schultz is working like so hard to make sure that everyone's like being represented, but maybe this might be a good thing to try to see if we can encourage students and hopefully like give them some positivity.
I know I will be wearing my cap and gown and regala and all that stuff. And I'm sure the bookstore is still open. I've seen the bookstore post that they're still open, they're still selling. Wear your masks, keep your distance if you go by it. I'm sure I don't know, but I'm sure they're doing like pickup. Like I'm sure you can order it and just go in and pick it up. But yeah, the goal is to get people to still want to wear their cap and gown. Obviously, some people might not want to still do it, and they might just want to participate in fancy clothes. That's no problem. But yeah, we're trying to make it as personal and as memorable as we can, as the school can.
Given the
But yeah,
circumstances.
I hear you, Caston, and I know people are upset. And hopefully there is a postponed one. It's not off the table. But yeah, I hear you, Caston.
And I just want to reiterate the fact that some of these decisions are out of student government's hands, as well as MSJC's hands. Like these are just guidelines given to us from the WHO and the CDC, so it's not something that we can really go against given the circumstances. And like Allison said, Dr. Schultz did state that a postponement of a postponement of a ceremony is completely not off the table. So there is hope. However, it's just if we don't know how long this pandemic is going to play out, and we may just have the same excuse for postponement like 6 months from now. So it's like that's why they don't want to give anybody false hope in terms of a postponement of graduation, because we may just have it be postponed again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for voicing those concerns. And trust me, I've heard a lot of that. And for the most part, I agree with it. But I mean, given the circumstances, it's like, what can we do? But yeah.
Yeah, that concludes my feedback. So
Thank you.
thank you for listening, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing it up, Caston. It's really
Yes.
important.
Of course.
So with that being said, I believe those were our final kudos, confessions, and concerns. Correct me if I'm wrong. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Alrighty. Moving on to public comment on non-agenda items. All public comments are to be limited to 1 minute each. Additional time can be allotted with the motion second from the Senate. Suzanne, did we have any public comments today?
We did not have any public comment.
Alrighty. So moving on to public comment on agenda items. All public comments are to be limited to 1 minute each. Additional time can be allotted with the motion second from the Senate. Alrighty. Moving on to discussion/action items. The following items may be discussed and voted on at this time. 8 minutes per topic with 1 minute per speaker. Members of the public may speak after the discussion by the voting body is closed and before a vote by the voting body is taken. So first on our list, I know we wanted to amend this line item. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. So the discussion on approval of $1,000 for donation, I think that would just say SGA's pledge for success.
Okay. So then I don't have to change the discussion on SGA donation bid and fundraising campaign with Brooke Olasky. Just one line item 1A.
Yes.
So
and-
instead of discussion and approval of $1,000 donation, it would be discussion and approval of $1,000 SGA pledge for success.
Correct.
Alrighty. Well then,
So I guess I move to amend line item 1A, discussion and approval of $1,000 donation to be discussion and approval of $1,000 for the SGA promise and success.
pledge.
Pledge and success. Yeah.
It's the pledge for success, correct, Jose?
Pledge for success.
Pledge for success.
Alrighty. Thank you. I have a motion from Hector. Do I have a second to amend the line item 1A?
Aye.
Thank you, Caston. Alrighty. Amendment to line item 1A. Alrighty, so first on our list, we do have a discussion on a SGA donation bid and fundraising campaign with Rebecca Orlowski, who is the operations supervisor of the foundation. So we also have Rebecca Teague on the line. So, who wants to?
So I am here and I can chat first because it is separate from what I think you're speaking about, but it is in concert with that, unless Maya has me somewhere else. But I do have to jump here out of this meeting. So I wanted just to update the SGA regarding the CARES Act funding. So I wanted to just be able to come here today. So thank you for allowing me to share some information with you. So MSJC, and I'm trying to pull up some notes of mine on my computer. So just hold on just a moment. So I got everything that I need. So MSJC was a recipient, as were all of the institutions across the United States, of CARES Act funding through the federal government. It was the Federal Higher Education CARES Act. And MSJC was allocated over $9.7 million, of which 50% of that must be allocated for direct student emergency financial aid. And so that totals to approximately $4.8 million that we will, as MSJC, be providing to eligible students as emergency financial aid awards. The Department of Education has created categories specific to the CARES Act funding: housing, food, transportation, instructional support. That includes tuition or enrollment fees, supplies, materials for their education, technology, healthcare, childcare, and other miscellaneous expenses. And so that pot of money, we are creating caps institutionally so that we can stretch those dollars as much as possible to serve the greatest number of students. And the intent of this funding, it has been not only for stimulus purposes, obviously, but it's also to provide assistance to you, the students, in completing your educational programs and staying the course for your educational, in your educational pathway. And so we anticipate that we will be sharing with all of you, with the entire institution, the students, an application for funding. And that will more than likely occur next Wednesday. It will be publicized. Roger will be doing a video to send out via social media. We will be having a link available on our website to access this application. It's a super easy peasy application that will just ask a few minimal questions, really just student ID, contact information, what categories of funding students are seeking emergency support for, and then an opportunity for them to share some narrative, some story of how this would help them stay the course. And so that will be available to students next Wednesday, next week. We currently do not have the funds from the Department of Education yet. We submitted our application over a week ago. There's only one institution in the entire state of California that has received their funding, and that's Imperial. And they received it early this week, but all other institutions have not yet received this funding to draw down from to disperse it to students. So no, we're waiting for that funding so that we can just start the process, but we are going to begin the application period. A few notes though on this application. Because it is part of the Higher Education Act, there are some restrictions and eligibility criteria specific for this funding. So to be eligible to apply for the CARES Act funding, students have to be financial aid Title IV students. So that means essentially that they've completed their FAFSA and they are potentially Pell Grant students. They have to be US citizens or eligible non-citizens with a valid Social Security number. They have to be registered if they are a male with selective service, and they have to have a high school diploma or GED. And then they also have to have satisfactory academic progress. Now that is just for the CARES Act funding. What we will be doing is having this application that will utilize multiple sources of funding. And so what will happen is students, any student can apply for this funding, and we in the background have other pots of money, other funding sources that don't have these same restrictions as the CARES Act. So we will be able to support some of our DACA students and undocumented students. We will be able to support those students that perhaps might not have financial aid and need assistance now. And so we are looking at this as just a central entrance point for folks to share with us their emergency needs in order to stay in class. And we will do our very best to distribute funds in that manner. Let's see if there were any other pieces. So for us, though, we're committed to serving our high priority students with emergency financial support through these other funding services and sources. And so rest assured that, you know, just because it's CARES Act, MSJC is trying to go above and beyond what the CARES Act can provide. I do want to point out that there was some communication from a vendor about 2 days ago regarding the distribution of these funds. It was from the BankMobile account vendor. This is the group that we actually utilize to distribute federal financial aid to our students and state funding to our students. And they jumped the gun on us. They actually sent out a communication saying, hey, we need you to update your information. It kind of looked like a scam email, but it is not. It is absolutely legit. But it's just on the back end for them to get all of the updated contact information for students. But it did not indicate that the folks that are completing that update are recipients of the CARES Act funding. We have not processed anything to date. So I just wanted to be sure to get that out there. I know that the BankMobile folks sent out an email communication yesterday, late yesterday, apologizing for that confusion and absolutely clarifying what that initial email was. And so that's where we're at with emergency support. And I just wanted to see if there were any questions that I could assist you with, any questions you might have. So yeah.
I have a question, sorry. Thank you so much for the information, it really does help. I have 2 questions. First question, I know students were wondering if they received the stimulus check, the first one, the one that contained the 1,200, do they have a restriction to apply for this CARES Act that's funding? No? Okay, perfect.
Not at all.
And then second question, for the applicants who don't have financial aid and they're gonna, that don't have financial aid and they're, I know that you said that MSJC is trying to provide more funding for them. Is there gonna be a separate application for that as well? Or is that going to be part of the same one?
It's going to be the same application because we don't want to confuse folks and complete multiple applications regarding what they think they're eligible for. So we're trying to streamline this as much as possible and have just one central entrance point, and we will do all the filtering in the background. So honestly, some students that receive funding may not even know where they're getting this funding from, right? They won't know if it's CARES or the foundation or some other pot of funding that we have available. But there are restrictions to this CARES Act funding that requires that if MSJC distributes this funding for housing for you, you have to use it on housing. Like there's some strict parameters around that. But this CARES Act funding will not impact financial aid either. So if you're a financial aid recipient, it won't adjust your unmet need and you'll be able to utilize it as needed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for all the information. Super helpful, and it's gonna benefit so many students. Looking forward to getting the word out and getting students to fill out the application. I know the first question people are probably gonna ask is how long, do you guys have a date on how long people can expect to get that funding? And just so I'm clear, that the CARES and the foundation, if they were to receive that funding, would go into their BankMobile, or that's unrelated?
Yes, so first question, date. We are going to release the application next Wednesday for folks to fill out. Because I don't have verification or notification from the U.S. Department of Ed that we've received these funding. And when I say received, like it's ours, it's been allocated, but there's some magic that happens that they actually transfer the money over that we can use it like in our bank account, right? And so we haven't received that access yet. And so we can't anticipate what date disbursements will begin. And so I don't want to give you like, well, it could be a week, it could be, a few weeks. The intention is that we are trying to disperse this as quickly as possible once that access point is connected. And we are trying to do it so that it is impacting our spring semester students first. And so it's our intention, as long as Department of Ed makes that connection with us and we can start distributing the funds, it'll be for spring semester students. We will continue to push it into the summer term for summer term students if we still have funding available. And then if there is miraculously still money available, we'll push it into fall. We actually expect this funding to disappear very quickly because we know our students are hurting so badly right now with the current environment of losing jobs, or families and parents are losing jobs. And so we are aware and we're doing our very best to get this funding out. And then you said the second question was related. I'm sorry, I totally went that way.
Bank Mobile, are they going to be expected to get the same way that they get their financial aid?
So for CARES Act funding, it'll absolutely has to be through Bank Mobile or some electronic format. And we are trying to streamline it so that we are using the same process so that students have that, because I'll be honest with you, we did the Chromebook shipment to students so they didn't have to come on campus. And because students are experiencing housing insecurities, they are moving from place to place sometimes. And so the initial shipment where we sent it, they may have already moved. And so we had to do some backtracking. And so that's why we don't want to mail out checks necessarily, because then if it goes to one address and we can't get, we don't want to go there. So that's why we're going to be utilizing Bank Mobile for most of it. Foundation may use something separate, but we're going to try to streamline it as much as possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Rebecca, again for joining us. I want to echo Allison's words and saying that the information you provided us is very beneficial for all of us. With that being said, does anybody else have any questions for Rebecca?
I have one more. Sorry. I have a question. Is there do you guys expect a certain amount of funding that will be provided for each student yet? Is there a number yet?
So we're working on that in the background. We are trying to stretch these dollars as much as possible, but we want to make sure that needs are met. So, for housing, we are looking at the average rent across the service area. So we understand that students living in different areas of the district might have different rent needs or housing needs. But in order to have kind of a fair, objective view, we're going to do an average for rent or housing. And then for food, we work with our CalWorks department, and they've created some type of criteria for dependents within the household because a family of 2 is going to have very different food needs than a family of 6. Right. And so we are trying to be as flexible as possible. And so that's why I'm not telling you an amount necessarily for each category, because we're taking it case by case depending on the need. For the instructional support, we do kind of have a ballpark of that. If you're considered more than likely full-time and, the tuition for that, what that would be. So we're kind of creating these approximates, as well as with technology. We know, what a Chromebook costs and what a hotspot MiFi might be. And so that's kind of how we're packaging those amounts right now. But I don't want to, we're not going to advertise necessarily or publicize the caps, because they may be different for different folks' needs.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. And one other piece, and Maya was sharing with me, I know that you folks have the biggest hearts and you're trying to create donations in areas where you can support students with emergency needs. But I want to reassure you, we have a lot of funding available to us through this CARES Act, through our Student Equity and Achievement Program, through our Promise Program for first-time, full-time, and those students that don't have financial aid, as well as through the foundation, and also through our housing initiative, food initiative. And so please recognize, there's a lot of different pots. And so I know that there were early discussions with you folks about perhaps pulling together and creating some type of fund for students, but I actually think we're covered in this area. And I would much rather that this need is going to continue on for the next several semesters. And so you may want to just hold that pot and kind of really evaluate, and this is just a recommendation, you all are free to do whatever you'd like, but knowing how much money we have, I think we're going to be covered right now for our students. And so I would love for you to consider, you know, really evaluating whether you could just hold that funding or consider it for a different purpose. So that's just my little soapbox right now.
Thank you so much, Executive Dean Teague. I did want to thank you again for joining us and sparing us some of your time. I know you do have very important matters to get to, so thank you for taking the time out of day to join us in our SJA meeting. Alrighty, with that being said, we also do have the Director of Foundation and Donor Initiatives, Rebecca Orlowski, on the line. So without further ado, I would also like to introduce her.
Hey everyone. So I first would like to echo what Rebecca just said. I think what you guys are wanting to do with creating this emergency fund is amazing, but we definitely have the resources right now to meet those needs for you. And when I was speaking with Tracy and some of your leadership this week, we really talked about the fact that the creation of an account that we can help you fundraise and get resources for will be super helpful for maybe when we don't have the resources to help the students, and so that you guys can sort of step in and do that at that time. So, and I think it's amazing what you guys are doing. I know that Tracy gave you guys a little bit of an update earlier, sort of on some of what we discussed. Tracy, can you just let me know what have you covered with them already, so I'm not repeating everything that you've already said?
For the meeting on Wednesday, I think some people, they didn't join our meeting. So can you just like recap everything just briefly?
Yeah, just okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a meeting with the leadership of SGA, we talked about ways that we might be able to have fundraising done for you. And one of the first things that we talked about is the ability for you to just go out and do like an ask campaign, similar to like what you see on the GoFundMe pages. We have a new software within the foundation that allows us to create like a GoFundMe. It's called Give Campus. And so it creates a quick 15-30 second video, and it allows all of you to, in essence, appeal to everyone in your lives on social media to give to this fund. And it allows you to share when you have given, or to like challenge someone, you know, I've challenged these people to give $1 each, and someone can literally donate as little as $1, because we all know if everyone gave $1, it creates a lot of money that can support people. So we had talked about doing that. And then this week, an interesting opportunity came up. Our classified staff were also looking at ways to fundraise to support staff. And one of the ideas that they came up with and that we researched, we decided was actually a way better fit for SGA. And what we've been trying to do is find ways to make commencement and graduation a little more celebratory for all of you, a little more exciting. And so we thought it would be a great opportunity if students had the ability to purchase a lawn sign that they could put in front of their house that would say graduating MSJC 2020. Some of the other schools, I'm sure you've seen those, but it's a pride thing. And so there's a vendor that the foundation works with, and they can actually print the signs and mail them to the students so that no one has to touch them or do anything with them for $10 a sign. And so we had talked about maybe doing like a $15 per yard sign or whatever you guys wanted to do. And obviously whatever you guys are charging on top of the 10 would then go into your SGA fund that you're looking to create. And so that was sort of the second thing that we had talked about. We thought it's great because it's good morale booster. It gives the students something to be excited about, but it's also students helping students, because all the funds are going to go into your student fund.
It's a really great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, and then what we're kind of thinking when I talked to Dr. Schultz about it is that this could then become an annual fundraiser for SGA. So like how PTK does the lays, it would just become, as long as SGA wanted to have it, an annual fundraiser where you guys have a yard sign, do the yard sign. So it would become part of the commencement package every year that just goes out to students, letting them know sort of what they can purchase.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really great idea.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I do have a question though.
Absolutely.
Would we have to, who would make the yard sign? Like, would it have to be graphic the student makes, or would we have to make it, or
No,
does the company make it?
Yeah, so the company will do the graphic, and I obviously I'll forward it to Maya and your leadership, and they can send it out once we have one that our public information office signs off on. But they will do the graphic. They'll print them, so they're double-sided signs. So no matter how you put it in your yard, you can see on both sides that it's a graduate. And then they will print them all, and then they will mail them to whoever purchases them. So all we'll do is we'll just send them a list with everyone that purchased and their address, whatever address they give us, and then they're going to package them up and mail them out. So you guys actually don't have to do anything.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
that was one of the things I liked about it was you guys don't have to, you're not out any money up front because you're just going to literally purchase what people have already bought.
I wanted to just add, I know my local high school did that, or the local high school did that. They came, the teachers surprised the seniors, and they dropped off a sign for my sister. She's graduating, and I thought that was super awesome. I didn't expect it to be such a morale boost that it was, to see how many other seniors there are in my area. So I think the whole sign thing right now is like an awesome idea.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, so I seen the high school do it, and I thought it was awesome. And the whole dropping it off, I even think like if we buy it for other people, like
yes,
like if we bought it for our friends or like your best friend or something like that, and you had them drop it off and they didn't even know, that's an awesome thing to just walk out to know that somebody is proud of you for graduating and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yes.
I had one question for you, Rebecca. I think this pertains to you. I tried to donate money when for the mask. I know that they were doing the 3D printing of the masks in the makerspace, and I tried to donate money, but it was only PayPal, and I didn't have a PayPal account. Is the sign gonna be the same? Because that would be my only. I think if we opened it up to different ways for people to buy, we get more people to purchase. Because I know I would have donated more money. I just didn't have a PayPal account. I didn't have time to make one.
So it shouldn't make you have a pay. You should be able to go through and do it as a guest. You shouldn't have to have a PayPal account. So if it's doing that, thank you for letting me know, because it should allow you to just use the process without having to have a PayPal account.
I think maybe I just didn't click far enough, but I want to say when I just hit the drop down to donate, it said sign into PayPal, and I was like, oh, I don't have PayPal. So.
Oh, okay. No, thank you for letting me know. I'll talk with the PIO office because they set that up for us and let them know that that's what's coming up, and that because you're right, it'll discourage people. It should come up and just say like, give you the option of just completing it as a guest or sign into your PayPal account.
Okay, awesome. Because I think, that'll encourage more people to buy. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you for letting me know.
Alrighty, with that being said, do we have any questions, comments, concerns?
It's a really cool idea. I think we should definitely jump on board. I think a lot of students would kind of like that, or even how Allison suggested, like surprising like your friends who are graduating and like celebrating them as well. Like that'd be really cool. So hopefully like we can promote that and get that up and running, because I know like if I was graduating and under these circumstances, like a little acknowledgement like that would actually
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So then I have a question for our advisors. Would line item 1A like be off the table then essentially, or are we still gonna be discussing? I guess that is up to us.
Yeah, so I think, we talked in the committee meeting earlier in the week that technically, we always want to have as detailed a line item on our agenda as we can when we're approving it. However, because of time and because we want to start this effort, if you all are supportive, we would want to start this effort pretty soon. Then you all can amend the motion potentially, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to vote on it because it's not on the agenda this week. However, given that this relates to our budget and it's really a win-win as far as I can tell, I'm comfortable taking responsibility and allowing you all to move forward with this effort without us necessarily putting it on the agenda. However, we would want to put it on the agenda next week and make sure that we vote. But I do have that ability as your advisor, as an agent of the district, since I am charged with ensuring that your financial solvency is there, right? And so this is going to help us. This is going to help us remain able to serve students with our budget. So if y'all want to do it, we can move forward. I would say I would just ask for a consensus of the group. If there's any opposition, let's please talk about it. And that it's really up to you. I mean, this is all up to you all. I'm not going to do anything without your consent.
Right.
I'm all for it. I'm all for the approval of it, but I'd love to discuss with those who might not be or may not fully understand.
Yeah, definitely. So then, I'll open the floor to discussion and slash or any opposition that you, not opposition, but like any questions people may have. I know, I think it's a really great idea, but I digress because I don't really have a vote in this.
Should we utilize the reactions if
Wait to, yeah.
people
So Allison, we are discussing if we want to move forward with the signs, correct? Or with the $1,000 donation. I guess that is my question. Are we moving forward with the fundraising campaign, or are we moving forward with the $1,000 donation? Maya.
So, so I can kind of chime in. So I
Sorry about
believe-
that.
No,
I
you're
was
fine.
on mute.
Oh, so I believe with the $1,000, so this was on the agenda before we really got to discuss the idea. So we didn't really change it. But I mean, you can still approve, right, and just have those funds pre-approved, like in the future, in case you wanted to utilize that money to say support students that may not get anything from CARES, right? Like we have this as a backup. So I would say still approve it just so we have it approved, but we don't necessarily have to touch it or do anything with it moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or I was gonna say, or we could have it as a scholarship too, and just move it over to like the scholarship fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Victor, this is Rebecca, just really quick. So
Yes, of
one of the
course.
things we had talked about when I met with the group on Wednesday was the fact that by you guys setting up this Pledge for Success account under SGA, is it allows me as, because since the foundation has a Pledge for Success, that when we're out marketing the general Pledge for Success that supports students, we can let donors and people be aware that SGA has its own account as well. Also, what's good is because the Pledge for Success is not like it's not set up to be, it only does food or it only does scholarships or it allows you over time to utilize that funding as SGA sees fit based on students' needs at any given time. So it does allow you guys some flexibility.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I see two propositions here. Okay, so
Yeah.
moving.
I think I would like some documentation on this before, like, actually voting on this. Like, I'd rather see like what like are all the requirements and stuff.
Can we have that as a discussion item for like our next Friday meeting? Is that possible then?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the goal was though to move forward with this today though, right? So we can get a jump start on it so that we don't push it back any further.
Yeah, but if we're, I guess like, I want to say like reallocating, if that's the right word, like if we're changing our donation to like maybe scholarship or anything like that, then I feel like it's a different take and not on what Rebecca just shared with us. Like if it's
So there's two propositions. Are you talking about the $1,000 is for the Pledge for Success, and then the campaign for the signs? Technically they're like two different things, but they're under the same line item. But I can definitely have this discussion for like the $1,000 reallocation of funds for the Pledge of Success or Pledge for Success on the agenda next week, so we can further discuss it.
Victor, this is Rebecca. Just really quick, let me explain to you when I say the word scholarship. So anytime emergency funding is issued to a student, whether it comes from SGA or from the foundation, we're always going to call that a scholarship. We do that for financial aid purposes. If something is called a scholarship, it has no bearing or effect on a student's financial aid status or their unmet need at all. And so to protect students and have the assistance you would be wanting to give them not affect their financial aid status, we will always call it a scholarship. So it's not a scholarship in like what you traditionally think where you're filling out an application, it's being reviewed. It's just,
Right.
It would still be emergency funding, which was your initial intent. We have to call it a scholarship.
Thanks,
Alrighty,
Rebecca.
thank you.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the clarification, yes.
Okay, so I guess what we could do is we could separate the question and at least have the fundraising campaign be on its separate like thing, and then we could have the donation thing be a second like item, and then we could amend that item to like, you know, to kind of fit whatever purposes you guys decide to go with.
But I believe we already did amend the line item 1A. I think we would just have to amend line item 1. But I don't think we can because given it's just discussion item, it's not an action item. The only thing we can amend is 1A, and that's because it's a discussion and an action item with approval, and that's why we were able to amend it to discussion and approval of $1,000 for the pledge for success, and that's what Rebecca touched on right now. The only thing that we're really discussing is if we want to move forward with the only thing that we can really discuss is, well, not the only thing, but like something that we should be discussing is if we want to move forward with the sign fundraising. There you go. I'm just drawing a blank. And then we can move on to discussion and approval. What's up?
I have a question because I think I'm a little bit lost. So we're going to approve $1,000 of SGA funding to be donated to MSJC Scholarship Foundation to be used for signs? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm super confused.
It's supposed to be for emergency funding.
For emergency funding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. For
Maybe
students
this.
to apply.
Yeah, no, so I'll step back. So there's two separate things going on. You would actually be creating an SGA Pledge for Success account. It will be SGA will own. I can't spend that money. No one else can tell you how to spend that money. It's SGA's account. So all you're literally doing is just allocating $1,000 to be used for emergency funding for students. And by calling it a Pledge for Success account, I can then help you guys fundraise because the college has a Pledge for Success.
Okay.
Totally separate from that. Yeah, so that's the one thing. Separate from that is the signs. You guys don't have to put up any money for the sign program. It's just us opening it up for students to purchase them. If 100 students purchase them, we'll order 100 signs. If 50 students purchase them, we'll only order 50 signs. And so and they cost $10 each. So if we sell them for $15, $5 for every sign goes into your account, $10 pays the vendor.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for clearing that up. So, okay.
Okay, so then.
Does that answer your question, Hector?
Yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I moved to, you know, to allocate $1,000 to the Pledge for Success fund.
So SGA, Rebecca, would be the one we would go over who applies for that, and we would, as a group, approve who would receive that funding and how much?
However you guys choose to allocate the funding, it's completely SGA's decision.
Okay.
So can I chime in, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get groceries delivered, so I'm multitasking. So we can talk more about this, y'all, and I don't want to, we can definitely get more into it. I would offer up though that yes, we can, to answer Allison's questions, we can totally do that. There's other models for this at other student governments where they've set aside budgets to utilize for scholarships. And there's a form that they take in, there's a committee that meets and goes over the form. I will tell you, it is quite a lengthy process. It doesn't happen overnight, right? Because we want to make sure we're giving all of the applicants thorough consideration. So it's just something to think about. Depending on how y'all structure it, we just have to keep in mind we need to build it into the rest of the work that we're doing. So it's absolutely possible to do. We just want to be mindful of that.
It sounds I don't know if you guys, but to me it sounds very similar to the club funding that we did last semester. I'm sure you guys are aware. We came up with a form, we came up with a budget, we came up with reasons why clubs would apply for funding. SGA has set aside funding for clubs. There's a form they can fill out if they want funding from us. And this sounds like that, but it would be able to be promoted through the foundation, which has a huge following.
Yeah, that's why I was making the motion so that we can have like a business with the foundation so that we can cooperate. But anyways, the motion is there.
Yeah,
if
so
anyone wants to amend
second
it or oppose it, they're more than more within their right.
So then, since I don't
Okay.
have a second motion, I guess the motion is denied unless somebody wants to speak up, or if ever hold your peace.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, so to clarify, I have a motion to approve of $1,000 for Pledge for Success.
Yeah, to create a fund within the MSGC Foundation.
Okay, thank you. And who seconded that?
Me, Victoria.
Thank you, Victoria. Because this is monetary, or rather fiscal matters, we will move on to a roll call vote. Vice President Menifee Valley Campus, Eli Baeza.
Aye.
Vice President San Jacinto Campus, Adel Perez.
Aye.
Student Trustee Allison Salas.
Aye.
Commissioner of College Activities Brian Moreno Alvarez.
Aye.
Commissioner of Financial Affairs Tracy Yee.
Aye.
Commissioner of Institutional Effectiveness Nicholas Singh.
Aye.
Commissioner of Public Relations Ariana Rodriguez.
Aye.
Commissioner of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs Caston Chamberlain.
Aye.
Senator of College Activities Cindy Lopez.
Aye.
Senator of Financial Affairs Christian Cortez.
Aye.
Senator of Institutional Effectiveness Hector Cardenas.
Well, I mean, I made the motion. Aye.
True. Senator of Public Relations Victoria Ann Caballero.
I'm seconded, but also I.
Just gotta have it for the record.
Actually, technically, a second is just a neutral position. Like,
Hector.
Okay, coming back to the roll call vote. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs Chanupa Vasquez.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs Victor Heredia, currently not here. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs Timberly Vick.
Aye.
Alrighty, ayes have it. By unanimous decision, we will be allocating $1,000.
oh wait. Were people absent?
Yeah, just Victor.
Oh, okay, then I guess Victor would be the only one in like abstain kind of thing, or like I forget what it's called, but
True, but
yeah.
voting membership, I guess, goes to any and all seated senators.
Yeah.
Alrighty, ayes have it by majority decision because we don't have all members present. Jesus, present. We will be allocating $1,000 to our Pledge for Success Foundation account.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, with that
So-
being said, with the fundraising opportunity, I believe that's something that we can't really approve of. However, Maya did say that we, given a position, like we probably can move forward with this. But I just want to have a.
But hold on. I'm curious. We don't have to approve anything, right? They're gonna move forward and do it, and as long as we get people to buy it, then they're gonna buy it, right? Or we just have to approve of the amount of money that we're gonna sell it for. Or
I mean, technically, is Rebecca still with us?
I am. I'm here.
Yeah.
I stayed, Maya.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Technically, there's nothing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rebecca, but there's really the only thing that really we would be doing, I guess, right now is just putting SGA's name on it because we would be saying
That's 100% that
promoting
is
it,
true.
right?
Exactly.
Right.
It was kind of like I said to you guys on Wednesday, I'm like, technically I could just go do it and say I'm going to give the money to SGA and it wouldn't matter. But that's not, I wanted it to come here because if SGA's name is on it, we want to make sure that this is something that SGA wants to do. And that it's something that you guys could get behind and help in selling and all of that. So I would never just go run something and be like, well, whether you want it or not, you're going to take it. So, although most people don't turn down money. So,
So really, it's like Ariana. Like Ariana would, as our social media person, right, would be the one promoting it first, and then you all promoting it in other ways that you want to promote it.
yeah. There would just be hope that you would share it out, that like whatever social media posts we have, that you would share it out with people in the community.
Yeah, Rebecca, will you let me or us know when these things are ready for me to find it and start promoting them? Or
Absolutely.
should
No,
I-
we will. Yep.
Okay.
We'll make sure that as soon as it's ready to go, and then we'll make sure that the PIO office is sharing stuff that you guys can put out on your social media pages as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that we can get it out possibly Monday, but Tuesday at the latest
Okay.
to start selling them. I just want the artwork to be done in advance, but yeah.
I guess it's this is pretty cool.
So is this something that we would all want to agree on, or at least the majority of us? If you want us to move forward with this in terms of the sign campaigning or fundraising, so yes, utilize the check mark or any emoticons or anything in the chat. Saying it out loud. We need,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So do I have any opposition or do I have any discussion, like further questions?
Opposition, con. I was gonna say, could we just make like a special committee for it, and then like, I don't want to be part of that special committee. You guys can do whatever, within that.
Could I
What would the committee do in that case? Like, I don't
they'd be
see
given
like what.
Sorry, I was gonna say they would be given the power to just work with the foundation on whatever that is, or we just refer it over to the, Ariana's thing. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like we wouldn't really be doing anything hands-on with fundraising. We would just be promoting it.
I think what we do now is just to, like help students know how to apply to different refunds and help to promote, advertise on the yard sign
Yeah.
fundraising. And yeah, that's just what we can do now. So we don't have to take out any money like to foundation.
Wait,
So
sorry.
I don't think it's necessary to like make a community.
Right. Okay.
I was gonna say we could refer it to the PR committee, like
Yes.
like that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yes, I was
I believe we will all help.
getting to that, but I just wanted to make sure this is something that we all wanted to do before I refer the fundraising to the PR committee.
I think we need to
Motion. Go
keep
ahead,
in
Cassie.
mind that we're pressed for time as well.
Yeah, I know we have 10 minutes left, but these last two line items are pretty quick. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Maya.
Just suggestion. So I like that idea of referring it to a committee because it helps with transparency, right? So we just have something documented. I'm wondering, could it just be worked out through PR and through collaboration with FA? So Ariana already attends the Financial Affairs Committee, which is really great. So I'm wondering if they can just work together to either have it on either one of their agendas and then basically just provide updates, right? And so they would be the one, either Tracy or Ariana, probably Ariana, I imagine, would probably be the one communicating with the foundation's office, like with Rebecca's team, to just get updates like as to what's happening and to, continue to promote. And then y'all can just report it out at the SJ meeting, just like you normally would. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, and we can definitely like join each other's meeting, like Ariana join FA's meeting and I join PR's meeting, and then we can get new updates.
Okay, well,
Yes, count me in. I mentioned on the chat, but count me in. That's exciting, and I mentioned it to the advisors, and Rebecca was there. That I'm really enthusiastic and excited for this event, and so yeah, count me in, and yeah, anything that you need. So my meeting is also Monday, so we can either discuss it. So, but Tracy, you can email me later today or during the weekend to what to put on our individual agendas and whatnot, what to discuss in each.
Yeah, we can always discuss. Yeah.
I'll text you later.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, and Ellie said that she can help promote through ICC too. Any
I'm
final
a-
remarks, Hector? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I moved to refer the this to the PR committee.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Victoria. So, that being said, we are referring line item 1 to the PR committee now. So, fundraising, up to y'all. Don't worry, y'all won't be alone. So, thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for joining us, Rebecca.
Thank
Really
you,
do
Rebecca.
appreciate it. Thank you for the
Thank you.
clarification.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Alrighty, so now we have line item 2, discussion on any information regarding parking permit refunds. So, I guess our power comes within our voice, and specifically for this line item. And I know it's something that students wanted, right? Because other colleges are doing it. So if that's something that we should focus our attention to, I can definitely invite Dr. Colson and in for a meeting, or I can have a meeting with him myself. But I would much rather have him hear it from SGA as a collective if this is something that we want to.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean,
focus our
yeah,
attention on.
I guess bring him in for like as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone in opposition to that idea? Okay.
So parking for the semester is $30. We had the parking until March 16th.
14th.
16th was the last day. That was the official day that they announced that the campus was going to be closed. So it was about halfway through the semester. So we're looking to refund half of it, right? Not the full amount?
Yeah.
Yeah, Allison, it's like it will only be like the prorated amount. Other colleges are just doing that. They're not giving out the full amount, just the amount for whatever they didn't use for the rest of the semester.
Question, do we know what other colleges have given those partial refunds?
Yes, RCC.
Okay.
I have a student forward it to me, so I can email it to you if you want.
So
I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm just curious.
My only, what I can picture Dr. Colson saying, and I don't want to say that I'm going to speak for him, but I know that we had to hire more security on campus because there was attempted break-ins, and I assume that that's what that funding, I assume that it went to that, and I know they said that that's the only thing I can picture him saying why they wouldn't be able to refund the money. That's all I'm gonna say.
If I can echo that is absolutely correct, Allison. The district had to contract with an outside vendor to provide additional security 24/7 supervision because we did have several attempts. I don't know the details. So I think that might be the only limitation that the district has, honestly. Trust me, I think we all understand the need. So I can't speak for Dr. Colson, but I do know that that's something that would be hard for him and hard for the district, not just him, but just the district in general, right? Because it's not necessarily only his decision, but it's really about making sure that the college has the funds available to protect the college so that we have a college to come back to. So that's all I'll say.
It's my understanding that those fees pay for the security who goes through and checks, and those people are essential workers. Those people are still working. They're still not groundskeepers. There's still maintenance on campus. That's the only reason I can see them not refunding it is because those people are still essential. They're still working. But that's just my input on refunding. Of course, I would love to see everybody get back their $15.
Okay. I guess we should just
Another thing is a lot of students thought maybe we can put it towards like if the fall semester happens.
I was gonna say we're running out of time. I think we should just add it to the agenda next semester, or it's not next semester.
Well, it's a discussion, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not approving anything.
Yeah, but the next one we're approving, right? The 750.
Yeah, we are. So I was just gonna postpone line item 2 until next meeting, or either not postpone it, but continue the line item.
Yeah, definitely. Especially so we can hear what Dr. Colson has to say too.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I'll continue line item 2 until next week's meeting. Moving on to line item 3, discussion and approval of $750 for SGA ceremony expenses. This is pretty straightforward. I have a motion to approve $750 for the SGA ceremony
Yeah.
expenses? Motion given by Victoria. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Alrighty, with that being said, because it's fiscal matters, we move on to a roll call vote again. Vice President, Menifee Valley Campus, Ali Baeza.
Aye.
Vice President, San Jacinto Campus, Cedro Perez.
Aye.
Student Trustee Alison Salas.
Aye.
Commissioner, got you, thank you. Commissioner of College Activities, Brian Moreno Alvarez.
Yes.
Yes or aye?
Aye. Sorry. Aye.
It's okay. Commissioner of Institutional Effectiveness, Nicholas Singh. Is Nick on the line? Okay. Commissioner of Public Relations, I guess that counts as an abstention because he didn't really say anything. Commissioner of Public Relations, Ariana Rodriguez.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Casson Chamberlain.
Aye.
Senator of College Activities, Cindy Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator of Financial Affairs, Christian Cortez.
Aye.
Senator of Institutional Effectiveness, Hector Cardenas.
Aye.
Senator of Public Relations, Victoria Ann Caballero.
Aye.
Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Chisnuba Vasquez.
Aye.
Thank you. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Victor Heredia, currently not here, so that's an abstention. Senator of Student Equity and Cultural Affairs, Kimberly Vick.
Aye.
Ayes have it. By majority decision, we will be approving $750 for SGA ceremony expenses.
Wow, in the last minute here.
Yeah, with that being said, do I have any call for agenda items?
Victor?
Yes.
Hey, Victor, question. So for the parking permit refund issue, can I ask someone from the SGA if they would like to have someone come in and maybe give some more information about the possibility to the meeting? Even though, you know, parking technically falls under student services and Dr. Colson, it also is run through business services. So there's a bit of a shared responsibility. So the fiscal component, I think, actually might be under business services rather than student services. So I'm just wondering if it would be helpful to have someone either from business services or student services come to the next meeting to talk about, you know, this issue, whether or not it's possible. And, I can't promise that folks will be able to come, but I'm just wondering if somebody wants to take the issue as their responsibility so that I can communicate with that person to connect them with someone. I'm not sure who the person was that brought this issue on the agenda, so that's fine.
Those Sadell.
Yeah.
Okay. Sadell, do you want to volunteer to be that point person that I can have you reach out to? I'm just not sure who to refer you to yet, so I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll find out.
Yeah, just email me as soon as you find out.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Alrighty. With
Thank
that being
you.
said, do I have any call for agenda items before I Okay, everybody's telling me that they'll email me agenda items. Okay. Alrighty, with that being said, then I'll adjourn this meeting at 12 p.m. right on the dot. Look at that.
Everybody have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Do something fun. Can we stop the stream, Jose?
Yes, let me.
Or Suzanne?
I'll do it. Yeah.